this here is the Fadebomb Needle Skinny Cap. And what do we think of it? Well, I'll tell you what I think of it. With the commercialization of the graffiti industry has come high-priced, flashy products such as split solid streakers from hand mix to regular graffiti supplies at massively inflated prices from Crink to specialized pressurized spray caps that add no value to the art or creation of graffiti itself. And the trend towards using products like this is exacerbated by graffiti artists online using these products, at least in part because they grab people's attention, aka they get views. Kind of like what happened when you saw this video. You probably saw the thumbnail, said, "What the hell is going on with that cap?" and you came here to find out. Luckily for you, I'm not here to waste your time and just grab a view from you, because today we're going to see exactly what these Fadebomb Needle Skinny Caps are good for and all the things they aren't useful for at all. First, we're going to be doing a line test with every single needle cap size that I have here from Fadebomb compared to some more standard caps like Lego Thins, New York Fats, so you can see a size difference. And then secondly, I'm going to be painting a regular graffiti piece and seeing where I can use this Fadebomb Needle Skinny Cap within that piece. And after all of that, you'll at least get to hear the honest opinion of one graffiti artist. That's me, by the way. So let's get to it. So this here is the Fadebomb Needle Skinny Cap in its simplest form. And you know what, I'll tell you a secret. Of all the crazy caps on the Fadebomb site, this is one of the only ones I can see having any potential. Their crazy 2, 3, 4, 5 cap contraptions are not going to help you paint a graffiti piece or a mural of any kind with spray paint for that matter. Each of those caps has a unique and very niche purpose, but outside of being a fun sort of party trick at a free wall once in a while, they don't actually provide any value to graffiti artists. All of those other caps, I'm sorry to say it, but they entirely miss the mark when it comes to providing any kind of value to people who are using caps to paint murals with spray paint. That's the simple truth. And we're taking a look at these needle caps specifically from Fadebomb today because if they give the graffiti artist any level of enhanced control over a spray can, then these might have some value for you guys as graffiti artists trying to paint your pieces. So firstly, just so you guys know what you're getting into with these Fadebomb Needle Skinny Caps, these 4 Needle Skinny Caps cost $10.95. To put that in perspective, you could either buy these 4 needle caps or you could buy 25 Lego Thin caps and 25 New York Fat caps. 2 of the most goated caps. So what am I saying? I'm just saying these had better be good. So while I show you exactly how small the lines are you can get with each of these needle cap sizes, I'm going to tell you exactly how this thing works, just so we're clear on how it might help you out. Right now, I'm going to show you exactly how each of these needle cap sizes looks, but not just compared to each other. We're going to compare them next to a New York Fat cap and your Lego Thin caps, just because those are very likely caps that most or all of you have used before, and it'll give you a bit better of a picture for just how small these actually are. Okay, so the first line which you just saw me spray and you're seeing again, that whole vertical part of that line, that is overspray. Now, what overspray is when you stop spraying with the can and it takes a second for the can to stop spraying. And that is with the smallest size, and there it is again, you're seeing me point at it there, and that's with the smallest size of the needle cap there. We switched to the beige one, the second smallest size, and I still got lots of overspray on it. We switched to the yellow one, that's the second biggest size, and we're gonna try that one out. That was the first cap we used that there was no overspray on. We switched to the black one, the biggest size of the needle cap. There wasn't any overspray on that one either, although those 2 sizes were a lot dustier. You can see the size comparison we're doing there. So I switched back to the red one, the smallest one, just to see if it was a can issue. I did try and work it out, but no, still just overspray. So after that, we switched to the yellow cap, the Lego Thin cap. And you can see the size of the Lego Thin cap for comparison there. And then to throw on something smaller, we're putting on a flame blue cap there. Now that's a very skinny cap. I like to use that one in my pieces. So you're seeing a solid line there that we're doing with the flame blue skinny. I'm just pointing out that it's only a little bit bigger than the two biggest sizes of the needle cap there, and it's a lot cleaner. There's not that mistiness around the edges of the lines like there is with the needle caps. It just felt nicer to me. But then again, I am used to using that. For the last one there, we're just putting a New York Fat on, and that is the Sciz compared to a New York Fat Cap, just so you guys have a full comparison. So the skinny cap here is actually a pretty simple bit of piping. Below the valve actuating device here, or the thing that activates the valve, you're gonna see there's this black rubber ring. Now what that does is it allows you to only partially compress the valve on your spray can. And what that does is it allows less paint to flow through this cap and out at once. So in short, you're slowing the whole thing down so that you have a better chance to work with your spray can in that small area you're probably trying to work in with a needle cap. That being said, and I'll be honest here, I might be breaking the whole graffiti market by telling you this. Believe it or not, you can put this little black ring on any graffiti cap you want to slow the flow down while you're using a spray can. Now that's not exactly the same as slowing the flow down and using a skinny cap, but slowing the flow down does narrow the radius on whatever cap you're using, because less flow through the cap means less output, which in turn means less reach. The more shallow reach your paint has, the smaller the radius of the spray paint. So now that we have a bit of an idea of exactly how wide each of these needle caps sprays, I'm gonna take you guys along with me to a spot, and we're just gonna paint a very simple piece. And I'm gonna try and incorporate these needle caps into it a little bit to show you guys some real life applications of how they might be useful to you if you're trying to paint murals or graffiti pieces. So while we're on our way to the spot here, I get asked quite a bit about perspective. More specifically, how to do 3D effectively and that sort of thing. Now, perspective itself isn't too hard a concept, but when you start using 2 and 3 point perspectives, things can get pretty hairy pretty quickly. I've been using my Skillshare membership to look at some perspective drawing classes and improve those fundamentals in my work. If you're like me and you're always trying to learn in graffiti and expand what you know in graffiti, I would recommend Skillshare to you as well. And Skillshare has hooked everyone up who is watching this with a free 1-month trial of Skillshare. The first 500 people to click the link in the description will get access to Skillshare for a whole month for free. It's the biggest online learning community there is, and it's specifically tailored towards creative people like all of us here. Skillshare has been what I've used to expand my knowledge of different artistic concepts so that I can apply those to my graffiti and hopefully make it better. And there's even some graffiti basics on there as well, actually. So if you want to get better at graffiti and explore what Skillshare has, you will get a 1-month free trial, but you do have to click my link in the description and be one of the first 500 people. It's free to sign up through my link. You can even cancel and you'll still get the whole 1 month for free at no cost. So if you guys are interested, I would really appreciate you guys checking it out because it does help to support the channel here. So at the spot here, I am going to tell you first off how incredibly embarrassed I am of the quality of piece that I am painting. I'll be perfectly honest, the reason for that is just because I basically have not painted in 6 months. There's a lot of stuff going on. I have not been able to or motivated to paint anything. But that being said, I used almost regular caps for just about the whole piece. My initial thought was I was going to try and use these needle caps to clean the piece up. I thought they'd be nice for like cutbacks because you're usually using a skinny cap if you're doing any cutbacks. I thought I'd try and add some crack effects to the piece, which I didn't end up doing. The reason for that is because the couple times I tried to use these needle caps, I tried to use the biggest size of the needle caps. I'll be perfectly honest, they just felt like the red crappy needle caps that you get for $1 each. They just spit out paint, and I'll break it down for you. I'll be totally honest. Probably 60% of that is my fault and just not being able to move with the spray can fast enough to be able to handle how much paint it was spitting out. out in such a short juncture. But part of that too is the way that it outputs paints. I can appreciate that it has a nice solid border. It's not misty around the edges at all. That's probably the only good thing I have to say about these. But even with that ring on the bottom of this, these just sort of spit out paint at an unreasonable rate, I think. And not only that, when you have excessive output like that, it just doesn't make for the cleanest spray no matter how good you are with a spray can. But don't get me wrong, most of that was just my fault. I honestly just felt like I could not use these. So what did I end up doing? What I ended up doing was putting a flame blue skinny cap on a dang 600 milliliter white can to do most of the cutbacks in the piece. And I felt a lot more in control using the flame blue skinny cap to do those cutbacks than I ever would have felt trying to do them with these needle caps. That's just the honest truth. That being said, I did want to try like something you might want to use these for. So what I did was I just wanted to do the letter in red on screen right there for you. We're back in our testing area, and then one in green. So the one in red is again with that flame blue skinny cap. It's very choppy, but you know, you felt like you could work with it a little bit. The one in green, you can see I did manage to lay a letter down, the letter B there, and I just wanted to thicken it up a little bit to see if I could, you know, do something with that. But holy crap, you can just tell it's spitting out paint. It's very, very difficult. And then when I tried to go back and put like some lighter green highlights in the middle of it, that wasn't happening at all. Something else that happened when I was originally going to do the letter B in red too, but this needle cap here, which is the biggest of the 4 needle caps, clogged. Which again, if you're paying $10.95 for this pack of them, you don't want to see that happening. You can put these in like acetone, clean them out so they keep working, but I really don't think we want to get into all of that, to be honest. I certainly don't. And I'll tell you the one and only reason I think these might be worth picking up, and that is simply because of that nice black rubber ring on the bottom of these. You can use it as a pressure adapter on any other cap. I just want to remind everyone, and it does, you know, cut the pressure back a little bit. I know some people have used 2 of these on a can or on a cap. You can try that. I've never done it, but that will limit the pressure even more. But you know, you guys know on here I try and keep it pretty real with you guys. I wouldn't buy these if I were you. I'd keep doing whatever you're doing with the caps you're working with already. I just don't think these elevate your game at all. But like I mentioned earlier, the graffiti world has been commercialized to the gills over the last 5 to 10 years especially, and these needle caps are not the first product to come out with some crazy design. If you want to see another cap that claims to be the only cap you'll need to do skinny lines and fat lines, then you can check out the video on screen where we painted a full size piece with this one cap. And the results of that one were actually quite surprising. I'll be honest, it turned out a lot better than these things did. And we painted a full scale graffiti piece just with one cap. So you can check that out in the video on screen right now. I'll see you over there soon. Until then, peace.